Welcome to the Red Conrad Show, the story of my life and world events how I see them. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe. Let's get this going.
Hello everyone, how you been? I did have a few episodes recorded. That the way things played out, I'm glad I never published them. I'm not going to go into all that went on. Just I'm glad I didn't publish those few episodes that I did have recorded and ready to go. But I am working on trying to get more time to get my podcast back on track. Have more episodes coming up, on a more steady frequency, so everybody knows when the podcast is going to air. Well, life for me has not been easy. I've been working on a couple different things, doing a few different things, um, trying to set up work. I don't recall if I mentioned it in a published episode or not, but in the event that I haven't, I've more or less been living the van life for the past couple of months. Trying to find, I've been bouncing back and forth between trying to set up work on the road and reshaping my business, because those of you who've been following me all along, you're aware. Those who aren't, what I do is I run my own personal concierge service. Like I'll do deliveries, laundry pickups, and drop off, propane tank exchanges, a whole laundry list of different shit. Basically, if you need an errand ran in my area, you can hire me, and I'll take care of errands for you. I've even been hired a couple times from companies out of state that had customers here in my local area, needed a contract signed and returned to them, and they hired me to print out the contract, take it down to their client, get it all signed up, packed up in an envelope, and ship back to them. So I'm trying to rework my business setup so that I can do it on the road. So as I figure out, how that's going to work, I've been slowly making updates to my website so it's not so location specific. And obviously, I'm going to have to announce on the website what areas I'm going to be in, what days or what time frame, so people in that area can book my services. I'm not obviously going to be able to offer all the services I offer now in my current area, that I established my business with. I'm going to have to cut back significantly on the type of services that I offer. But I'm trying to figure out how I can shift my business where it's mobile and I can do it pretty much wherever I am in the country. Before anybody mentions about the gig apps, I am on a lot of the gig apps already, not all of them. I had issues I was dealing with that had me temporarily restricted with some of the gig apps. Since then, I've gotten those issues taken care of, and a few of the gig apps reactivated my accounts. I'm still fighting with another one because my documentation isn't the same as it was. My numbers changed, so I had to send them the newer documents with the new information. Still waiting to hear back. One gig app in particular, I'm not going to mention who they are, they give me problems because in order to log into the driver app, I have to log into my phone number, but I don't have the phone number anymore that I used to sign up with. Got to go through support to update it, but contacting support, I don't know if they're using, people in other countries that don't speak English as their first language or what, but they're not understanding what I'm trying to say about my account. They never deactivated me though. That's the problem with them is they either overlooked the issues I was having that the other gig apps caught onto, but nonetheless, I didn't have an issue with that other company. I just didn't work it because the closest area they have is about 2 hours drive from me. So I was working other shit plus my business locally. I had to sign up with them as like a backup. If things got slow in this area, I can always head out to that area, turn them on, and do that for the day. Now that I'm hitting the road, I kind of need to be able to have that. So when I'm in areas they operate, I can at least look at that for some income. But like I said, I no longer have the phone number I used to sign up. While I was taking care of all my legal shit, that phone bill got tremendously high because I liked a certain model phone. Okay, it was made by Samsung. Problem is, I didn't buy them outright. And so I ended up doing the 24-month EIP payments on the phones. But every year, um, at some point, year and a half, the battery would blow up, and I'd have to get another phone. So now at first I was now paying off two phones, right? I still would have 6 months to a year of the phone that blew up. I'm still paying off, and then I'm paying off the other phone, and that kept on happening, and it kept on raising my bill higher and higher and higher and higher. And it just got to the point where the bill got so freaking high, I just couldn't afford it no more. So I got a backup phone just in case I wasn't able to afford that particular month's bill because it was ridiculously freaking high. And what wound up happening is backup phone to another phone company ended up being cheaper bill wise to keep on. Didn't have enough money for the other phone, for my main phone, so I kept the backup phone. Main phone got shut off. Couldn't get enough money together to get it turned back on before I lost the number. And so that number is gone. Even if I try going back to that phone carrier, then the number's gone. I'm not going to be able to get it back. So I've been trying to contact support to get the update my phone number to my new number, and they're just not understanding what I'm trying to say. And they keep on referring me back to the customer side of things, not the driver side of things. But like, why would I be contacting driver support if I was only a customer? I'd be going to customer service. But anyways, so I do have gigs that I can do as I travel. When I'm in areas that those particular gigs are, in the areas. I've been looking for and setting up side jobs and temp jobs going in the direction that I want to be going in. Because my idea is to go up and down the coast, visit family along the way, stay somewhere as long as I have to for the job. When that job ends, or near that job ending, try to set up another one going in the direction I need to be going in. And then obviously I got that little bit of time between the one job ending and the next job starting to work my way that way. And along the way, I want to visit my family. And my ideas are, I want to be up north for the summer and then back down south again for the winters. I'm originally from New York. I do not miss the snow at all. I don't miss driving in the snow. I don't miss, hitting spots of black ice at the fuck all. So those are my plans. Just in case I didn't mention that in previous published episodes. If I manage to find temporary stays here and there, I'm going to do that. As far as lodging goes. I do have a program I'm going to sign up for that will give me a domicile address that I can use for my license, registration, and insurance. I've joined several groups of nomads, van lifers, RVers, and I've been getting a lot of tips and ideas from them. I've been talking to some that have been doing it for years, getting tips on how to find jobs, getting tips on how to set up my van. When I have enough money for a camper or for an RV, what year or what models to look for, or even the older ones, what I can do to them to set them up the way I want it set up. So anyways, that's pretty much what I've been up to the past couple of months. And like I said, I did have, based on certain things that are taking place, I did have podcast episodes that were recorded, ready to publish, that never got published And I'm glad I didn't, because then I had to backtrack some things that I said, because they were, to me personally, they were what I thought was going to be, something good happening in my life. But it didn't go that way. I'm not going to go into details what it was. The details aren't important. No, it doesn't have to do with work or anything like that. It's just stupid. Well, not stupid shit, but just nothing relevant to how I'm gonna, be working and pay my bills. Nothing relevant to that or to my lifestyle. Just something that had it worked out, it would have been good happening in my life. But it's basically me and Fisher, my dog, going on this little adventure. And it's basically, essentially, it's me trying to make the best of a bad situation. If you want to know what that bad situation was, go back and listen to the older episodes of the podcast. I covered, there were 3 separate hiatuses that I spoke about, with the situations that led up to each one. Now, if you listen to those episodes explaining the hiatuses from the podcast, you can probably fill in the blanks to figure out what happened in between each hiatus. So I'm not gonna go over all that again. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, or email the show at theredconradshow@gmail.com, or podcast at redconrad.com. One of those emails, doesn't matter when you email it to, I'll see it, and I'll answer your questions. And hopefully to make this podcast hopefully a little bit more entertaining, but at the same time still keep it on track with what I was trying to do with the show to begin with. I'm going to be doing a lot of talking about, my adventures, living the band life, living nomadic, people I meet, the different jobs I'm going to be doing, different areas I'm in, and just talking about it. I'm going to have my ups and downs, so there'll be some days I'm going to be talking, all excited and shit, and happy-go-lucky, telling about how, my day went, or week, or whatever went. And there's going to be times where, my head's getting to me. For those of you that are new to the show, I have a cocktail of mental disorders. I was diagnosed when I was younger with borderline personality disorder, dysthymia, bipolar, general anxiety disorder, and PTSD. So I know I'm going to have days, especially considering I'm not taking any medication, or natural remedies. It's basically me with my own coping mechanisms and my sheer willpower trying to deal with everything I'm dealing with. I know I'm going to have my bad days. So I'm probably going to be on here, have an episode here and there, stressing the hell out, anxiety through the roof. So just from that fact, even though I'm going to be trying to, keep it more entertaining, keep it a lot about, my adventures and what I'm doing, what I'm up to. It's still hopefully going to stay on track with the original purpose of the show. Those of you new to the show, the original purpose of the show was basically to give people who don't have these disorders or any serious mental disorder an idea of what those of us that suffer with it, how our mind views things and interprets things, and those that do suffer, that come across my show, to realize they're not alone. And quite frankly, all the shit that I've been going through the past couple years, especially this year, and what I'm looking at going into next year, if I can do it, despite what my mind does to me every day, anybody can. Anybody can make it. You just gotta, instead of looking at it as a problem, oh my god, I'm fucked, what am I gonna do? You gotta try looking at it from the light side of things and figure out how you can, turn a bad situation into something positive. And that's what I'm doing. I lost my wife to cancer a couple years ago. That led me down a very dark, deep depression for a lot longer than I really should have allowed it to happen. And in the process, I ate up my savings trying to keep my bills paid. I ended up, when I finally did start getting back out and going all gung ho, full force again, and trying to regrow my business, trying to hopefully salvage it from completely crashing and burning. I did some stupid shit financially, trying to figure, well, that'll give me a little bit of breathing room until I get it moving again. Once it gets moving again, not only will my bills be paid, but I'll be able to pay off that other shit too. Backfired in my face. I ended up getting robbed. My property got broken into and completely destroyed. So, I lost my property earlier in the year, and I've been pretty much bouncing around since then, trying to figure shit out, trying to regrow my business the best that I can, trying to find other work. One thing led to another, and it just got to a point where I got so down, so depressed with everything that's been happening to me and everything that's going on. I had a couple of mental breakdowns, and then I caught wind of the nomadic lifestyle, and I started talking to people who do it. Some that just started, and some that have been doing it for years. And well, a lot of them will push, especially on YouTube, will push mainly the glamour. They don't talk much about the darker side of things. So I joined a few groups full of different nomads, whether they're van lifers, RVers, tent campers, all the different aspects of the nomad culture. And like I said, I got tips and tricks and advice from them, how to find jobs, what your mind will do to you at different stages. What your mind does to you at different stages, depending on if you chose to do it and prep for it, or if you're kind of thrust into it and are adapting to a situation. Because there's plenty of that with the high cost of property, rent or otherwise happening. A lot of people were kind of forced into the situation. I heard all about that, and depending on how you got into this lifestyle, different points in time where your mind will fuck with you. And be prepared for that. So I heard all this shit from people who have been doing this for years. Some people that I've been spoken to have been doing this for fucking like 40 years. It's still going strong. So, anyways, that's my plans. That's what I'm up to. That's what I've been up to. That's what I'm planning on doing for a little while. Aside from trying to mobilize my business, and aside from the different gig apps that are out there, and these other side jobs and temp jobs that I can find on the road, I'm also considering on getting back into my stock trading. And eventually, the income off of that will be high enough. I won't have to work anymore per se, just do my stock trades. But it's going to take a while to get my stock trading income that high, or as high as I would like it to be, where I can feel comfortable that I don't have to work anymore. So I'm going to get back into that, start producing income with that, and while I'm working other jobs, I'm going to use my old swing trading technique, but instead of splitting the profit half and half, where I put half in my pocket, the other half back in another trade, what I'm going to do is all my profit from each trade is going to go back into other trades until the income is high enough where I feel comfortable that it's high enough and I can keep it relative in that range before I start, pocketing some of that profit, and only half of it goes back into trades again. And in order to be able to do that, where I can live off of nothing but the stock trading, indeed the income per month, regardless how many trades I do per month, it has to be, at a certain level where the half that I keep is enough to cover my expenses, still put some into my emergency fund, some into my savings, and then the other half to go back into other trades. And the reason why I say, regardless how many trades, because just look up swing trading. It's way different from it's kind of in between day trading and investing. Okay, the way I did my swing trading, some trades would last a couple days, but I've had trades that I didn't pull the profits until a good month later. So if I've only got one trade that month, that one trade has to be enough money where the profit can cover my shit, and then I still have half of it left over to go into other trades. So basically, I need to make sure I have enough money coming and going with my trading. That if I do only have one trade in any particular month, it's going to be a good enough trade. So that's going to take me a little while to get to. So I'm going to be working for a while I get that built up. So that's where the gig apps come into play. That's where these temp jobs and side jobs come into play, and other type of work I can find while I'm on the road all come into play. And I'm going to be doing, I don't know if it'll be weekly, bi-weekly, I'm not sure yet, podcast episodes, updating everybody, what I'm up to, what jobs I'm doing, how much I'm enjoying it, how me and Fisher are adapting to different areas we're in, and ultimately adapting to this lifestyle. Because, the past couple months it has been hard. We had a little bit of help for a couple months from a friend of mine, while we adapt to the situation. But now they're basically about to go their way. I'm going my way. Another person that was with us went their way already. They left the party yesterday. So yeah. So all that being said, I appreciate you listening. Don't forget to visit show.redconrad.com and subscribe to the show via the website so you don't miss anything. Everything will be posted to the website, whether it's a podcast continue on the podcast platforms or it ends up strictly via video. It'll always be posted to the show's website at show.redconrad.com. So no matter where it's posted, you can find it on the website. So be sure to subscribe to the website, show.redconrad.com, so you don't miss any episodes. You can also leave me comments there if you don't want email, and I'll respond to all your comments there. On that note, I appreciate you for listening. Please subscribe to the show. I know this was kind of a lengthy update. I potentially rehashed information that I don't remember if I mentioned in a published episode or not. But if I did, sorry for repeating myself. I'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Red Conrad Show. Don't forget to subscribe, and remember, if you're not listening on Spotify, Spotify is the home of my subscription-only content. So any stories you want to hear that have part one or other missing pieces on the free side, you gotta hop over to Spotify and subscribe to the subscription content to get the missing pieces of those particular stories. I will see you in the next episode.